Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video tutorial, we're going to learn how to design a custom Frisbee, just like the one seen here. And one of the things I love about this Frisbee is the ability to spin it on your finger and even catch it and spin it on your finger. So it's kind of fun. And then the other thing that I love about this Frisbee is that you're going to be able to customize the text that you want on your Frisbee here. All right, so whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and change our workspace now to design. All right, and we're going to come on up and start a new design. We're going to come over here and create a sketch here on our XY plane. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on line type over here. We're going to click on the construction button option, and we're going to create a 2-point rectangle here, something like this. Okay, and we're going to make it roughly, and we're using inches by the way. So we're going to make it roughly, well, where it's highlighted blue, I'm going to type in 5, hit the tab button, and we're going to make that 1.5. And this square essentially represents half of our Frisbee. We're going to draw half of our Frisbee inside this. And this square is just to give us sort of a reference on how big we want to make it. And so keep in mind, if you want to make a bigger Frisbee, you can make this, 6 inches by 2 inches or 7 inches by 2 inches or a smaller Frisbee, up to you. All right. So this is kind of what we're using here to determine the size of our Frisbee. All right, so now let's go ahead and take it out of construction mode. So I'm going to click there and we're going to come on up and we're going to create a 3-point arc right here. So we're going to select a 3-point arc. We're going to basically click here at our origin once, and when we draw an arc, we click once, and then we click again where we want to end our arc. And I'm going to click kind of in this area, like right around in here, and then you can move your mouse here to kind of adjust your arc, okay? And I'm going to, you see this right here? Look at the origin. You see that tangent constraint pops up? So I'm going to move it so that my tangent constraint pops up right there. And I'm going to click so that I get this tangent constraint. Okay. And if you didn't get that tangent constraint, you can click on your tangent constraint and click there and then click on this line. Okay. And it should pop up. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and add a couple dimensions here. So I'm going to click here and click here, and I'm going to come on up and I'm going to make that guy right there 4.8. All right. And then I'm going to click here and click here, and I want that dimension there to be 0.8. All right. All right, now we're going to come over here to create, and we're going to select, and if you want to hit escape to take it out of dimension mode, go ahead, or it will automatically do it when you come on up here to arc. So we're going to draw another 3-point arc, and we want this arc to be tangent to the one we just drew. So we're going to start here where our last arc ended, and we're going to click there, and we're going to come straight down to our construction line here, and we're going to click there, and then we're just going to kind of drag out an arc that looks something like this. It looks a little funny, right? So make sure it kind of just has this, it looks something like this, and we're going to fix that here right now. So we're going to come on up to now our tangent constraint, and we're going to click here, and we're going to click here and make it tangent to. So we have this nice smooth, okay, line of consecutive arcs. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit escape. All right, so now notice this line here is blue and the other one's black. That's because this one is fully constrained. So let's go ahead and constrain this one so that it's fully constrained and unable to move. So this blue line should be kind of screaming at you saying, hey, I'm not constrained. I need another dimension here. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and add a dimension right here to the arc, and let's set it to whatever it is as 0.368 and hit enter. Okay, or 0.369 there. All right, the next thing we're going to do now is come on up to offset, and we're going to click on this line, and we're going to offset it a distance of 0.09. Okay, and this represents the thickness of our Frisbee. So imagine we could slice through our Frisbee and we could see how thick the plastic is. And if you're making your own, feel free to set this as thicker or thinner or however you like. We're going to go with 0.09. I'm going to go ahead and select OK. All right, so our construction lines here have served their purpose. They've sort of given us a reference for how big to draw our Frisbee here. So I'm going to go ahead and start trimming some of them here. I'm going to click in here, click here, click there, and click there. All right, and we're probably going to trim some more later, but that should be good for now. Actually, let's go ahead and just trim that guy, and we're going to zoom in and make sure there's not one right here. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of trim mode and hit escape. And the next thing I'm going to do is grab my line tool, and I got an open loop. So I want to close the loop. I'm going to click here and then click here. Okay. And I want to do the same thing down here. Okay. However, this time we're going to go click here and we're going to go across like so. All right. And then we're going to come back to our trim tool and we're going to trim this good old guy right there. All right. So we're done. We have something that hopefully looks like this. All right, next thing we're going to do now is go ahead and zoom in and we're going to add some small little fillets here. So we're going to come over here to fillet, and these are 2D fillets. So we're going to click here and click there, and we're going to set it to 0.03. And then I'm going to zoom in and we're going to do the same one there and there. Okay, let's see what 0.04 looks like. And it's all personal preference, right? I think I like 0.03 a little better. So let's go with that, because remember, you're going to catch it and you kind of want a little hook right here so you can grip it a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to go with 0.03. Okay, and it's looking good so far. All right, finally, let's go ahead and constrain this sketch here. So let's come up to dimension and just dimension this guy right here as whatever it ends up being as 14.89. Go ahead and hit enter. Okay, and I'm going to constrain this guy and dimension that guy right there. All right, and now we're fully constrained. So if you don't want to have a cool frisbee that you can spin on your finger, stop right now. So you basically have a normal frisbee. All right, but I am going to show you a cooler way to design a frisbee with a feature that will allow it for you to spin on your hand. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now let's go ahead and create a 2-point rectangle, and I'm going to start at my origin, and I'm just going to draw this rectangle to be 1.25 by 1.25 and hit enter. And then I'm going to go ahead and real quick trim this line and this line. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead now and grab my line tool, and I'm going to create a line that goes from the top left corner to the bottom right corner here, like so. All right, and then I'm going to grab my arc tool, my 3-point arc, and I'm just going to come down like right around here. I'm going to click once, and I'm going to come around here, okay, so that it's kind of like around a quarter to 0.3 inches. And then I'm going to move my arc so that it's tangent with this line, okay? And then I'm going to dimension this distance here to be 0.1, and I'm going to set the arc radius here now to 0.25. Okay. And then I'm just going to grab my fillet tool and I'm going to click here and click here, and I'm going to set that to 0.1 and enter. Okay. And now we're going to come up here to trim, and we're going to trim a few more lines here. So let's trim that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, and that guy. So we're left sort of with this profile that looks something like this. All right, and however, I'm going to actually go ahead now and throw another fillet in here, just because if you want to 3D print it, it will probably help create a better 3D print and a stronger 3D print. So I'm going to click there, and we'll set that to 0.25. Hit enter. Okay, when you're all done, you should hopefully have something that looks like this. All right, we're going to finish our sketch, and we're going to come on up now to revolve. It's going to highlight your profile. We're going to select our axis here that we want to revolve around. We're going to click right there, hit OK, and there is our beautiful frisbee. All right, with our fancy feature here that will allow it to spin it on our finger. All right, pretty cool. All right, so now let's go ahead and add some custom text. So I'm going to come over here to origin, and not that one, but that one, that face right there. I'm going to start a sketch on that guy. Okay, and I'm going to create line type here of construction again, and I'm going to come over here to my circle tool, and I'm just going to drag out a circle with a distance of about 7.3 inches there and hit enter. Okay, now I'm going to come over to create, and I'm going to come down to my text tool, and I'm going to select text on path here, and I'm going to click on that circle. All right, and now you can enter whatever custom text you want to add. So for me, I'm just going to, since I play Frisbee with my son or daughter, I'm just going to type in Jonathan and Maddie's Frisbee. Okay. And you can change the size of it right here. So um, let's see if we can get it to kind of go all the way around. Or what you can also do is let's shorten this up, and I'll show you something else that you can do here. So I'm going to change the size here to be like 0.3. Let's go with 0.4. Okay, and then I'm going to type in the same thing again. I'm going to hit the space bar like 5 times. So Jonathan and Maddie's Frisbee. I should really have an apostrophe S there, right? So, and notice now I'm going to add a few more spaces here so that they're like 180 degrees apart. Okay, so something like that. All right. That's probably, well, pretty good right there. Okay, and you can change your font as well. If you're planning on 3D printing this, I wouldn't use something too crazy. So I'm going to stick with the font that I have, okay, of Arial Black. And go ahead and select OK. When you're done, go ahead and finish your sketch. And we're going to extrude this guy now. We're going to click on our text. All right. And we're going to go to a distance to object. Okay, we're going to click there, and you might get an error message, and that's okay. If you do, we're going to extend it to the adjacent face. Okay, and now there we go. You should be good. Make sure it says join here. Okay, not cut, so I'm going to select join. And then when you get it done, go ahead and select OK. Okay, so when you're done, you have your text on your Frisbee, and you're like, whoa, my text is really high, but we're going to fix that right now, so don't. All right, so this should only take a second or so. So I'm going to come over to my XY plane here, and I'm going to start a sketch on there. Okay, I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see a little better. Come to create, and we're going to project some geometry. We're going to come on over to bodies, and I'm just going to click on this whole thing and select OK. All right, now I'm going to come to create, grab a 3-point arc, and I'm going to come back to my origin here, and I'm just going to come on up, a little bit here, and then come on over here to this point and come straight up or so, something like this. And I'm just going to kind of drag out an arc like this. Don't have the tangent constraint pop up for now. Okay, just kind of draw it like this. Okay, and now we're going to dimension this distance. And this distance essentially represents, okay, our height of our text. So you can come back and edit this later if you don't like how tall your text is. So for me, I'm just going to give it a distance of maybe like 0.2, maybe 0.25. Okay, and then I'm going to come up to my concentric tool, and I'm going to click here and click there, and now this arc is in line with this arc. Okay, and we're good. So what I'm going to do now is grab my line tool, come to this point, come up to this point, and I'm going to kind of just come over and across. Okay, I'm going to finish my sketch, and we're going to revolve this thing right here in this guy, and our axes, we're going to click on this green axis right there. Okay, and we're going to select cut. and select OK. And I don't know why that keeps doing that. All right, and then there you have it. There is your final Frisbee. And like I said, if you don't like your text height, okay, you can come back in here and edit it. Okay, I'm actually going to make mine maybe a little less, so maybe make it like 0.2. All right, and now my text should be smaller, okay, which looks pretty good. Okay, and when you're done, don't forget to go ahead and give it a cool appearance. Okay, like red or blue or whatever color you like it, and hit close. Don't forget to save it. Okay, we'll call it Frisbee. And if you want to check it out and make it look cool, come on down to render, and now you have this beautiful shiny looking final Frisbee. All right, and when you go to 3D print it, all right, try to minimize those overhangs, and it's a lot of fun. They come out pretty well. I've 3D printed a few of these, and they're a lot of fun to play with. Okay, all right, that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.